the previous podcast that I posted, I had an interview with an amazing guest, Vanessa Guild, and we touched upon vices and how vices can be in people's ways as she was expressing her life and how she's dealt with it and how she was able to overcome it. That being said, I would like to take advantage of talking uh, more about this topic of vices and alcohol in regards to how I have experienced it. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Don't forget to share with others in case it may help another person. And also, like, rate, subscribe, check out my Instagram channels where I talk about so many other topics. And also stay tuned on these podcasts as well, because so many of them are going to come that are going to be so good, feeding the spirit and feeding your mind as well. It can give you another perspective in life. Welcome to this podcast called The Life in My Name, which is named after a book that I'm soon to launch in October called The Life in My Name. I hope you enjoy the podcast and share with other people. For me, this is a very interesting topic, the topic of vices, especially alcohol. I grew up in a entertainment environment. My father runs an entertainment place. Like people go there to satisfy themselves, their body desires, things that they seek to express within pleasure, within the realms of pleasure. That's the business that my dad runs. And I grew up in that environment. I started drinking at a very young age. And with the way that I was used to seeing alcohol being used around me within my family, I didn't associate alcohol with or as a tool that I would use to suppress certain emotions or to seek to not think of stressful things, whereas other people can feel stressed and use alcohol to suppress the stress. I felt like it was a part of me. I felt like it was a part of life, our family thing, things I would do with family, friends, relatives. It was something that was cool, and it felt like at some points it felt like it was a competition as who would finish this bottle first, or who had the most courage to drink a straight shot of liquor. Old things like that. So I didn't resonate with the idea of drinking alcohol to suppress any stress until later on in life. Looking back, I was feeling the need to drink alcohol in situations where I had to be in front of public to, for instance, have a public speech. I remember in school, there was a time where I was so nervous about speaking in public, and I would drink champagne right before I attended the class. So by the time I was in the class, I was already tipsy, and yeah, of course, I made people laugh, but this made me lose confidence in myself. I lost confidence in many areas of my life, including in relationships, because there were points as well that I would actually only date guys that would drink. If I would date a guy that didn't drink, I would force them to drink because I didn't want them to see how I felt within myself, the insecurities and any form of lack that was subject to come out. I didn't want that. I didn't want them to see that. So it ended up being like that tool that I would use to suppress the insecurity, but I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought it was normal. I thought it was a feeling that um it was the feeling that would come after I drink alcohol that I craved for, which made me not really fully express myself with just being me and really helping me discover who me is, who me is, if that makes sense. But anyway, it was it was a journey. It was a journey. I remember at another point where I actually I'm just saying all this so that you see how much I would normalize um, alcohol. I remember there was a brother of mine that I used to drink. I mean, there is a brother, he's still there, that I used to drink with. We used to be like partners in crime. And then he decided to stop drinking alcohol. And I, I mean, that didn't sit well with me because I felt like he kind of neglected me and the relationship that we had. I felt like it wasn't as strong anymore because we would connect in this area. When he decided to go to church, I went to his church where they were congregating, they were sitting outside, and I started shouting his name, saying, "Let's go to the bar." Imagine how embarrassed he was. And I didn't even care. I was drunk. I was missing him, and I didn't care. Everything else would had to wait. The whole church had to wait because I wanted him to come join me and go out and have fun because I missed him. Like, who does that? Seriously, who does that? Sometimes I wonder what force was operating there because definitely not from, not the good force. I don't think so. Anyway, it was just an interesting experience that I had. So all this to just show you that I didn't see it as a bad thing, but with time I realized how much anxiety I had, that to the extent that it was hidden. It was There was like no way for me to have figured it out or found out or found a way to start healing it or working on removing it if I didn't even know that it was there. I didn't know it existed. But it was through letting go of these vices like smoking and drinking, or things that would make me feel like I was more confident under their influence, is when I started to realize that, oh my gosh, there was so much that I had to learn in life. There was so much that I had to learn to overcome in life, to be able to speak up for myself, to be able to face life, to be able to discover my purpose, my life purpose. It takes a lot of work, and clarity is one of them. Clarity in really connecting to who we are. And I don't know if that is possible when a person is constantly covered in the illusion of alcohol and drugs. And guys, the journey of self-realization, it's long. It's very long, but it's worth it. So starting now is better than waiting longer or feeling like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. When is this going to end? When am I going to get to know myself? But then starting now helps. And another person may feel like, okay, what's the point of getting to know myself? Like, what's the point? What's out there? Knowing thyself is one step closer to knowing the Creator. It's one more step closer to knowing God. Because we're here to serve, we are here to give, just like the Creator gives us, right? We're given life, we're given we are given this force of life to really exist and share the things that we discover in life, even the bad things that we've like gone through and overcome. Those are the things that we can also share with other people, how we've overcome them. That's part of being like the Creator. But if a person is drinking and waking up the next day like battling to to remember what happened the day before, and also nursing a hangover and then looking forward to starting the next bottle. I'm talking about this because I was there. I used to get alcohol delivered at my window almost on a daily basis. I would drink 2 bottles of wine per day, red wine. And it started as 1 glass until it ended up being 2 bottles per day. I would drink liquor. I would drink ciders and many other things. But it started off as just a weekend, just a social gathering, until it ended up being like a daily thing. I was very much dependent on it. It was no longer funny. I mean, it took a lot of work to realize it, and I lost so many friends from the moment that I stopped. I lost so many friends because I didn't know how to relate with certain people in my life if without having the alcohol, and some connections with other relatives like ended up not being the same. And it's life. It's life. It's good to choose the things that we value in life, because maybe one day they too will understand, and if they love you, they will still support you in whatever decision that you decide to make, which I believe my relatives and friends, because of the love that they have for me, they love me the way I am, and I see the value of really investing in this life and wasting it with one more day of being like nursing a hangover, sleeping all the way till like 3 p.m. and then waking up to eat and drink, and then the cycle going on again. It's a life that I've said goodbye to, because the amount of time that I'm actually wanting to invest in my purpose, to invest in my calling, to invest in studying more who this Creator is, to study more how I can serve humanity on a deeper level. I feel like I already lost so much time. And it's something that I wish I could just tell people that, hey, just wake up to life. Wake up to life. Because each day is one more day closer to the end of our lives. It's like one more day less. So it's better to choose wisely. It's better to focus on the things that matter. And even if you feel like you don't resonate with, drinking from stress, just think about even the side effects that are subject to come with drinking alcohol. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Think about the fights that are subject to happen under the influence. Think about all these misunderstandings, because I get it. I used to look for fights under the influence, like, just triggers. Anything would trigger me. And I would just, like, I didn't care. I did not care. I would look for ways to trigger another so that I would remove something that was bugging me emotionally. All these things were things that I would do hiding under the influence. And then after saying all the nasty things, then apologize and just say I was drunk. I mean, some people use it as a tool to express themselves, but why not express in a more calmer way coming from good intentions? Because all there is to be expressed is love. If we look at all those yucky emotions that we end up bursting out, it's sometimes it's because of the desire of love, or it's the feeling of lack of love, or feeling to want to be loved more, or coming from a place of, a trauma from lack of love. Like, if we really look deeply into all those traumas and all those things, it's just that desire, or the inner child yearning and wanting love. Why don't we just start by loving ourselves? Nobody owes us anything, not even our parents. They don't owe us love. But we definitely can love ourselves to the extent of treating ourselves better. We owe ourselves loves, and we owe love to the Creator. So, seeking to express that love for ourselves by investing in ourselves and choosing the next right step is a good way to really get to know thyself, really start that journey of connecting with the purpose in life and connecting to who we truly are. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this podcast with other people. And thank you so much for your support, your kindness, your heart. Stay tuned. Have a blessed day. And by the way, if you have any questions regarding numerology, if you want to discover your life purpose and wanting to embark in that journey of starting to know yourself better, book a reading. Book a reading with me, and let's enjoy, let's have fun and discover this life together. I can show you and I can guide you through with the steps of unpacking this beautiful gift of life that you already have, and leading you towards the right directions of the things that you can master within your life, and how you can navigate stopping certain habits in life that you don't want to be associated with anymore, and giving you more reason to be more grateful and more loving to yourself and other people. Have a good day. Stay blessed.